Hello boys and girls, my name is White Rhino PSO, and today we are playing American Truck Simulator. Now, as you can probably guess from the title, this game simulates driving a truck across America. And that's pretty much it, but it is still strangely addicting to play, at least if you're into simulator games or maybe just driving games in general. Now, I do already have a profile, and it is not very far along, but we're still going to be starting a brand new profile today. And because I'm the kind of weirdo who puts way too much thought into this, I have come up with a very specific profile that I want to play for the channel. Their name is Jude Anderson. They are a male. And the particular face I want is way down here. There he is. Alright, our preferred truck design, I'm going to go with the Peterbilt. Basically, this just means this is the truck that you're going to start the game driving. You're not going to own one, but whichever company you choose is one that you're going to be contacted early on to let you know where the dealerships for that particular company are. So we're going to go with the Peterbilt. Normally I go with one of the short noses, usually the Kenworth, but I spent a little time looking at the truck browser, and I did like what I saw of the Peterbilt customization options. Our company logo is going to be the wheel with the wing coming off of it, and that's because our company is going to be called the Wings of Hermes. And normally I'm better at typing, but I do have a steering wheel controller hooked up, and that makes it very difficult to actually reach my keyboard. Now, the next thing the game wants you to do is choose how you want to control your truck, but we're just going to skip over that because you can change it later on, and I'm going to spend a little time adjusting my controls off camera so that, you know, I don't basically hold up the quote-unquote action of the simulator game. Alright, next up, select the city you want to start in. Basically, any of the larger dots here on the map are one that you can select as your home city, and that's where you automatically also get a garage when you start the game. In working with our name of Wings of Hermes, that was mostly because I wanted to start way up here in Olympia, Washington. Normally, I start down somewhere in California, but that kind of sucks because the California speed limits for trucks are very low. Plus, I've never really driven in some of the higher up states. And as you can see, I also own all of the different DLC for the states that the company has released so far. So we select Olympia, Washington. We do not want to work through the tutorial because it doesn't really tell you much that you can't figure out on your own, or basically because I've played the game before, I don't really need to go through it. It's 10 a.m. on a Monday. Our current job is bringing used packaging from Olympia to Olympia. Your first job in the game is almost always going to be a very short trip between two locations in the same city. It's just kind of like a way to just get you used to driving a vehicle. Welcome to American Truck Simulator. At last, you have the chance to experience your dream job, driving a truck. Your own transportation company is now open for business, but sadly you lack the money to buy a truck. For now, you'll have to work for other companies as a driver for hire. Your task is to safely deliver a load of used packaging to Sell Goods dock in Olympia. Your employer has provided you with a vehicle and will cover all expenses. Don't let anyone down and arrive on time. Alright, so I have successfully mapped all of the controls, and we are now in our first, we're doing our first delivery in our first truck. Like I said, we don't own this truck, though. We are just driving it for another company. So we are currently in the interior view, so I have the mouse mapped to looking around. If we hit number 2, we can take a look at the truck and the actual the trailer that we're bringing. So we have, what was it again? F3, that's the map. Yes, we're bringing almost 30,000 pounds worth of used packaging to a place called Sell Goods here in Olympia. We currently have just under 6 hours remaining to deliver this, but it should be way more than enough time. So let me get that back off of our screen, get us back in, and we can...
Okay, here we go.
Fire up the engine. I also enabled the navigator voice, which I really enjoy because sometimes she'll let you know about things before the game, before like the little navigation thing on the screen shows you them. So, what do we have here? We have 220 gallons of fuel. Jesus Christ. Okay, our speed is 0, which obviously, because we're not moving. So let's shift this thing into gear, and we can get things started. Probably, yes. Oh, Jesus, turn the wheel, turn the wheel. I'm still not entirely used to driving with a steering wheel controller, so this is definitely going to be a little interesting. If you're used to watching people who play these games just about for a living, then you're probably going to be unhappy with my skills. Alright, so we're going to wait for that truck to see if it's going to be in our way. Oh, it looks like they might have a red light, so let's get going. Alright, so we need to take a left. And then our speed limit right now is 30 miles an hour. But we should definitely have...
Keep left, and then turn left.
Oh, shit. This is the lane we're supposed to be in.
Turn left.
I can't actually... Yeah, we're already messing things up. The trucks in American Truck Simulator have very long noses, so it's sometimes difficult to gauge how close you are to the line. And then there's times where when you get close to the line, you can no longer actually see the street lights. So, times like that, I don't mind cheating, quote-unquote, to actually see when we're supposed to get going. Oh, we got a nice, I'm pretty sure that was a Volvo truck that just drove by. Are we going to get the green light now? Okay, so let's get back in the truck and continue on our way. We don't really need to turn our turn signals on for this, I don't think, but might as well anyway. Those little arrows are a barrier. Basically, that is not a road that's actually programmed into the game, so obviously you can't go past it. Alright, we can crank this sucker up to 60. The one bad thing about... Oh, you can see on the navigation we're supposed to be merging off to the left. Because, just like that, because that lane is an exit only. But anyway, what I was saying is one of the bad things about this particular Peterbilt truck is that the left-hand mirrors... Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah, we're supposed to be doing 45. We're doing 54. And then we're supposed to merge into this next lane. But yes, the mirrors on the left-hand side of the truck are
Keep
not
left.
in a good position for if you plan on just sticking with the normal, like right here I have left click on the mouse is mapped to the interior view button, so it just kind of recenters your view. But as you can see on the left, now I can't actually see
Right,
what's behind me.
and then exit right.
Alright, just got to 60 miles an hour in time to need to
Exit right.
hit the brakes so we can get back off of the freeway.
Keep left, and then turn left.
We got an
Turn
actual red light for this. Damn it. It's going to be another one of those situations where I have to use the Cheeto camera just to see when the light turns green on me. Now, in America, or at least in this game, I'm not sure if it's the same for every state in the game, but people are allowed to take a right turn on a red light, only if it is safe to do so. We get another goddamn red light. No need to crank the gas to get over to it. Man, this truck is not very good for seeing the red lights, is it? I didn't really think about that. I may have to reevaluate which truck I actually want to drive for this game. It looks like we're going to be taking a right to get into our parking lot. So, let's just slip over to that lane now. And we do have a roundabout as well, which...
At the roundabout, take the first exit.
In a roundabout, the people...
Exit now.
The people driving
Keep
on the
right,
roundabout... Jesus,
and then
woman!
keep left.
The people on the roundabout actually have the right of way.
Keep left, and then turn left.
I think that middle lane was actually a turning lane, but I'm not sure. Alright, so... You can see way in the distance that little green icon. That is what we're heading for.
You have arrived at your destination. Your route guidance is now finished.
Thank you. Alright, so now that we're here, we hit enter, and as you play the game, your profile levels up. But one of the ways you can gain extra experience is by parking your truck in a particular way. So you can hit, sorry, I'm in a hurry, and that just skips parking, and you immediately end the delivery. You can hit play it safe, and it will give you a pretty easy parking job. Or you can hit where do you need it, which will give you a much more difficult parking job. Now, just because you got into this screen doesn't mean you have to select one. You can back out and actually take a look to see where you think they're going to want you to put it. This actually doesn't seem like that difficult of a parking lot, so we're going to try and park it where they want us to. Now, back when I used to play this game with an Xbox 360 controller, I was actually a lot better at parking, but I also spent a lot more time playing Euro Truck Simulator 2, and so far, I've noticed that the parking jobs in American Truck Simulator are a lot more difficult. Anytime that it offers 90 experience, you really want to be careful about where it wants you to park. We're going to give it a shot, though. Alright, so once you select it, alright, it wants it right up against the wall. Now you can see a little icon on the ground where they actually want you to park your truck. So, let's go over the little bumps there. Also, at any time, you can, like, cancel your special parking job and have the game park for you. Now, I'm going to be a little crazy, and I'm going to try and park this entirely from inside the cab. So, I just have to remember exactly how you're supposed to turn your wheel in order to cause the back end of your truck to go in the direction you want it to. I think we're doing good. Ah, shit. I think I'm a little too far. Yeah, I'm definitely... Ooh, nope. I want to hit the gas to stop myself. Jesus Christ. This might actually take a small amount of time. I kind of want to... how do I want to do this? Alright, we're going straight. So now, throw it in reverse again. Come on. Oh, I think I'm doing better this time, maybe? Come on. I'm at least within the colored lines for the moment. It seems like all I really gotta do... Oh, I just slammed it into the thing there. Oh, okay, so we have slightly hit the wall. That's okay. Nope, I want to hit the gas. So really all we got to do is straighten this thing out and then back it into position. Alright. So, turning the wheel to the right means it's going to turn the trailer to the left. Like I said, anybody who enjoys watching like the veterans of American Truck Simulator play is probably going to be very dissatisfied with this series. Hey! Nice! We got it into position. Alright, so throw it into neutral, turn on the parking brake, cut the engine. I mean, you don't really have to do any of that. Wow, that is all kinds of crooked. But it's good enough that they'll accept it. Or is it? Wait, what? Why? That's weird. Did it roll slightly out of position? No, there's to skip. Alright. Oh, okay. I had the wrong button. Alright, shift it out of the reverse to get that beeping done. Turn off the engine. And then we hit T. There we go. Decoupling. Alright, it was an excellent job because we did it very quickly and we didn't damage anything. We drove 37 miles, took us 2 hours of in-game time, only 8.5 gallons of fuel. So we get 61 experience and $870, but because we also did a very difficult parking job, we get an extra 90 experience for that. So it's not enough to get us to go up in level, but that is entirely okay because there are more than enough trucking jobs coming in the future. Oh, Jesus. I forgot that the wheel whips itself back around to dead center whenever you finish delivering something like that. This is your headquarters. It's a pretty basic garage. It may not be much, but it's a start. Unfortunately, you haven't got anything to park there yet, so there are no trucks in sight. Once you've earned enough money and bought a truck, you'll be able to move in the world freely and run your own business from here. Good luck! Alright, so first thing we're going to do is save our game. Let's play main save. I'm going back to the safety save, main save system of several FPS games I've played for the channel in the past. Now, the truck it shows is going to be your preferred truck, at least until you own your own. But until then, you have to take jobs from the job market. So quick jobs. Get hired as a professional driver. No fuss. Everything is provided for. Just pick a job and drive. Now, the game will show you all of the possible quick jobs you can do anywhere in the world. What I like to do... Actually, no, just anywhere in the world from a city that you have visited. Personally, what I like to do is always drive from the city that I just delivered to. It makes it seem a little more realistic to me, because I kind of picture my character finishing a job and then finding somewhere else in town that will give them a job. So, we can go Washington to Oregon. Now, what some people do is they put in, price per distance. So this way shows that you're going to get $6,240, but it's the shortest amount of distance in the actual game itself. So you might get a extremely short job that will just end up giving you lots of money. Now the one thing to worry about is that articulated trailer. This means that you're going to have possibly more than one trailer, or possibly a trailer that just has extra pivot points. So if I take this one, you know what, let's take it. Use packaging from Walbert to another Walbert, from Olympia, Washington to Eugene, Oregon. I'm probably not going to do any kind of fancy parking job once we get there, though, just because articulated trailers are kind of the bane of my existence. I grew to hate them while playing Farming Simulator 2015. They're just very unpleasant. So, let's close out the navigation. Let's actually take a look. Yeah, it's a double long trailer. I don't know if that second one is as long as the first one, but it's fairly close. So,
time to hit the road.
Let's fire it up. I believe we're actually leaving the exact same location that we got from the beginning. Put it into first. And let's start going. I believe we are... No, we're driving a Kenworth today. I thought we were driving the Volvo. Now, one thing you do have to worry about with the articulated trailers is they are very long, which means you definitely want to swing wide on some of these corners. We're taking a left out of town again. Do you guys have a red? You do. So, before that turns green, let's get out of Dodge. I did not think to check and see what I have for navigation options in the beginning here. I've got my fuel, my distance.
Keep left, and then turn left.
Alright. Once again, this is not the best truck for actually seeing the light at this particular intersection. This first video is going to be fairly long, just because I wanted to get more than just the tutorial delivery done. And this particular job shouldn't take us too long. Turn that blinker off. Oh, I'm actually getting close to the curb, if you see in the left mirror there. I plan on not leveling up my distance, which I'll explain that probably at the end of this delivery, because we should have enough experience to go up in level. But I'm planning on keeping my distance rating fairly low, just so that each of these videos will be a decently short length. I think we're getting off the highway here, yeah.
Keep right, and then exit right.
Cutting it back down to 45 again.
Exit right.
Oh, nice. This isn't actually leaving the highway, it's just merging onto a different section of highway, which I think we're going the speed limit now, so let me just pop in that cruise control. So nobody coming on the left, so we can safely merge. And then now we're back up to 60, so we can gas it up. Some of these heavier loads and some of the smaller trucks in the game actually take a while to get up to max speed, or up to whatever speed limit the road is that you're driving. So yeah, we're just barely making it to 55 miles an hour now. Now I'm going to try not to use the zoom function of the viewpoint here very often, because I have a feeling that it's going to trigger some motion sickness if I do. But the screen that I use when I for my computer is not the biggest, and sometimes it's difficult for me to actually read what some of these signs say as we're passing them. Alright, we are up to 60, so I'll pop that cruise control in, give myself a little rest from pressing down the gas pedal. It looks like we're heading south toward Portland. And 60 miles an hour is not too fast for a truck. Drive safely, sure. Looks like we're passing a river. I don't know what it said. It started with a T, though. A very shallow river by the look of it. Yeah, it's pretty gorgeous driving through the woods like this, or a forested area, especially when most of the time I've spent playing American Truck Simulator was me playing it having started in like the southern deserty areas of the map. Like I said, I think usually it's wherever the hell Hollywood is in California. I'm terrible at geography. But yeah, that section of the map, and then...
Keep left.
Alrighty. So it looks like we're not exiting here. But then inevitably, like, all of the deliveries end up being to the southeast, or just to the east, or somewhere still in California. It is a very... Is that a bridge? Oh, it's a drawbridge. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. It is a good thing I noticed that. I had seen a sign that said something along the lines of, be prepared to stop when lights flashing. Oh, hold on. Can you see? Looks like it's a very tall tugboat. Nice. Oh, and there's a, what are you? The short-nosed Peterbilt. Well, shortish, more modern Peterbilt. And I think that's a Volvo behind it. So, because the developers of this game use real-world trucks, currently there are only 5 trucks in the game. There is a 6th one coming, and that's because SCS, the company that makes these games, has to basically convince these real-world companies to allow them to put their licensed vehicles in the game. So, yeah, right now there's only 2 Kenworth, 2 Peterbilt, and 1 Volvo. And then I think the one that's coming, which I just saw the news like 2 days ago, or maybe just 1 day ago, said that the next one coming is a Lone Star, which is really, it's got an interesting nose to it, but I'm not sure how much I like the look of it, because most of its nose is taken up by a very large chrome grill. Alright, we've got the Volvo coming up on our right, which of course everybody's a little faster than us, just because we have a double load, which, how heavy is this? 54,000 pounds. Now, thankfully, when...
Keep left.
Yes, ma'am. When you are doing quick jobs, the game, I don't think, will ever give you a truck that is not capable of towing the load that it wants you to deliver. I remember buying my own truck in Euro Truck Simulator 2, and then soon after getting stuck with several jobs. Sorry, the sun just came out outside, so I had to close my shade. Being stuck with several jobs that my truck was very underpowered for. There were times where I was trying to make my way onto the highway and was crawling along at like 5 miles an hour. Because a tiny little Iveco, or whatever, however you pronounce that brand name, is with the smallest engine and transmission, are not really equipped to carry huge loads of like dirt and rocks.
Keep left.
Alright, so we're staying on the highway still. Now, the game does default to not having a voiced navigator, but I actually really enjoy... Let me just turn on the cruise control. I really enjoy it. This one in particular, some of the remarks she makes are kind of playful or snarky. Hopefully it won't be too distracting. So it's saying we can merge off to the right here, which we might want to do, because usually in Euro Truck Simulator 2, if the navigation on the right, the little window there, hey, we made it to Portland, nice. If the navigation showed that you can merge off to the right, it would allow you to. Oh, no, we're going back to the left. Just want to make sure. Alright, he is not coming into our lane. Well, so much for that. I was about to say that in Euro Truck Simulator 2, it would generally tell you get off to the right lane, and then if you weren't going to take that next exit, it would tell you get back out of that lane. So maybe I should listen to this lady a bit more, rather than trying to keep an eye on the navigation there, which it looks like upcoming it's going to tell us to get to the right again. I suppose I can move my foot to a more comfortable position, since the cruise control is keeping us as close to 50 as it can. It actually looks like we're gaining a lane over here, so maybe right after this corner I'll take us back into the next lane on the right. You know, if we can make it up this corner. Jesus, down to 35. Oh, that would probably be why, because we're at an exit only on the right-hand side, which is also a little bit different.
Keep right.
There we go. Looks like we should be fine. The speed limit's actually going up to 60? Nope, it's going back down to 50. Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know if I want to go up to 60 when we're going to be doing a funky highway turn here. Now I do have realistic fuel consumption and fatigue simulation on. What that really means is we're just going to have to get gas a little more often. and that every so often we are going to have to stop driving and sleep for a while. We do get fined if we avoid sleeping for too long. Sometimes you can stretch it a little, though. But usually you make more than enough money to warrant the extra gas consumption. So it's not that big of a deal. Alright, let's see if I can figure out how to ask my system here. How long is left? Only an hour and 40 minutes worth of distance left, which shouldn't take us too long. In fact, I think it wants me to get out of this lane because this is an exit-only lane now. So let's close that back down. As far as I know, all of the different trucks...
Keep left.
Already there. All the different trucks in American Truck Simulator do have a built-in GPS navigation system into the dashboard. Did I accidentally... No, I got up to 51. Okay. The speed limit... Hey, I made it to Salem, too. There are achievements for discovering each of the cities, as well as working for a different amount of companies, and then there's specific ones for driving things to different areas. I think we're going to Eugene. I think that's the place. Actually, I can check. Yes, a Walbert in Eugene. Close that back down. Actually, hold on. Let me show that again. Yeah, see, it says next rest stop in 10 hours. That's part of the built-in fatigue system. So that's actually quite a bit of time, especially when we've got 7 hours to drop this off, and we're going to be there in an hour and 20 minutes. It is getting kind of late, though, so I want to turn my headlights on. You also get fined if you do not have your headlights on when it's dark. And I just wanted to make sure. I think like 6:30 or 7 p.m. is when it's dark enough in-game to be considered time to use your headlights. But, oh Christ, we can go up to 60 too. Might as well do that, make things a little quicker. Because already this video looks like it's reaching close to the 60-minute mark. No, not 60, 40-minute. There we go. You do have a little bit of wiggle room when it comes to... Oh, Jesus, I was driving on the line for a second. A little bit of wiggle room when it comes to creeping up over the speed limit. But once you make it to like 5 miles over the limit, that's when the cops can notice you and end up giving you a fine. Some sort of big refinery or something off to the right here. I don't want to turn the camera too much and end up driving into the friggin'... Yeah, you could already hear I was hitting the little things on the side of the road that... Oh, shit. Let's drop the speed a little. That's weird. It said to cut it down to 55 on the little sign. Oh, there we go. There's the 55. I am doing 55, right? Yes. Nice. But yeah, it said that I could still do 60 for a short while. Nice. 1 mile to Eugene, Springfield. One of the things I liked doing in Euro Truck Simulator 2 was actually to go to the map, the in-game map, which, let me hit the button just to show you that, because we haven't actually seen the map yet. Yeah, so here's the actual map screen. The red line is the direction that the satellite navigation is telling you to go. Any road that is yellow is one that we've driven on before, because as you can see at the top left, it tracks how much of the game world you have explored. We've done less than 1% in this first, like, 40-plus minute video. Our first delivery, I think, was from here up to... No, it was from Walbert over to this Walbert. Yeah, because I remember we got off the highway here. But yes, we have gone quite a ways. We've passed through... Well, we've gone Portland adjacent. I don't think we got progress for long... No, because it would be in yellow. So we've gotten close enough to be considered part of Portland. And then we've made it past Salem. And actually, we're going to be cutting off of the highway now. Or at least very soon.
Keep right, and then exit right.
But yes, in Euro Truck Simulator 2, some of the cheaper less powerful trucks don't have built-in satellite navigation into the dashboard. So what I like to do is, rather than just keeping this satellite nav open all the time, I would instead go to the map screen and actually write down directions on how to get to my destination. And it was strangely rewarding to do that, because, I don't know, just following orders coming from... I didn't actually read what that said, even though I tried to zoom in and check. But yeah, following directions that I wrote down was somehow more fun than just following the red line on the navigation. I might... it wants me to get back out of this lane.
Keep left.
I might start doing that in American Truck Simulator eventually, but I'm still not entirely used to driving with an actual steering wheel. So, I want to get used to that first. But then if I do that, I won't be able to listen to the snarky directions from...
Keep right, and then exit right.
From our voice navigation.
Exit right.
Yes, ma'am. There's a yield up here, so we definitely want to...
Get ready to turn right.
Definitely want to drop some of this speed. I don't see anybody coming, so let's give it a shot.
Turn right.
Nice. We made it to Eugene. And then... Looks like we're bringing it right over here.
Get ready to turn left.
Alright, this is a fairly big Walbert.
Turn left.
But I have a feeling that it's going to want us to deliver this double in an area that is very difficult. So let's cut this wide, just to make sure we don't...
Finally, we are here.
Oh, that was probably close. Just to make sure that we might still clip it. Shit. Come on. Alright. We don't have the option for I can do anything, which I've actually never seen that as an option for trailer drop-off before. I think we can do this. Where should I place it? Yeah. That shouldn't be too bad. Especially since it's basically straight in line with the way we're going. Oh, and we lucked out with actually being able to get the ass end of this thing into the parking lot. There are a lot of states that don't actually allow for doubles, so I've never actually driven a double for... Oh, I think a little further up. There we go. Nice. Alright. Parking brake on. Shift into neutral. Engine off. And let's drop this sucker down. Nice. 231 miles. Took us 5.5 hours of in-game time. 40.2 gallons of fuel, which I didn't actually check to see how much we had. So we got 373 experience for that, 25 for the parking, and just about $6,250. So we did level up our profile. And before we finish off this video, I do want to actually explain this stuff. So as you level up, you're given skill points, and you can place those in these different categories. These 5 at the bottom are pretty self-explanatory. Long distance just means you're able to do longer deliveries, and you actually get a percentage of extra reward, money, and experience for deliveries that are over a particular distance. High value cargo unlocks cargoes that are considered very expensive, and you get rewards and experience for delivering those. Fragile cargo allows you to transport goods that are extremely easy to damage, so any mistakes you make will end up doing more damage to the cargo, and as before, you get more reward and experience. Just-in-time deliveries, there's 2 different parts to this one. The first one is just important deliveries, which are a little tighter on the deadline, but you should still have no trouble with. And then the second point gives you urgent deliveries, which are extremely tight. This can be an issue because sometimes the game will throw in different little like road events or even detours that you have to take. And I don't know if the game will give you a detour that if you follow it will end up costing you money because you don't get the thing there in time. Fuel economy really just makes it so it costs less fuel to drive around either with or without a trailer. Now the hazardous cargo up here, all these 6 different little boxes are different kinds of cargo. So if you put a point into Class 1 explosives, that means you're going to start seeing deliveries of things like dynamite or fireworks or ammunition. So that one needs a full 6 points in order to unlock all these different cargo types, whereas just a single point into high value, fragile, 2 points into just in time will unlock those possibilities. That was actually a fairly decent delivery, but I'm wondering if we should put a second point into it because well, actually no, that first delivery was just a tutorial one, and that one didn't take too long, but the second one took us like 35-ish minutes, so I think we're gonna skip putting points into long distance for now. I think I don't want to put anything into fuel economy because, like I said, I mean, I'm doing realistic fuel consumption, so I don't really have an issue with stopping to get gas whenever I need to. So I think what we're going to do is drop one into high value cargo, and that way at least I can get some deliveries that if they have a little star icon next to them, kind of like how the previous delivery had the little articulated trailer icon. This just means I'll get a little extra bonus if I do these kinds of deliveries. But yeah, that's it for this first video. Definitely going to be playing this more for the channel, at least now that I've, finally started, because I really enjoy this game, and surprisingly enough, there was not as much dead air as I was playing it as I thought there would be. But anyway, as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.